Hi guys, if you are seeing a red poppy or hearing about it, or somewhere poppy word is coming in your awareness or your consciousness, then this message is for you. There's some information about the symbolism that is coming forward from spirit for you to understand something about your inner archetypes and what is happening inside someone, because red poppy is a symbol that is coming out in this time. Whenever you're seeing this message, this is definitely a timeless reading, where we are unraveling the symbolism and the meaning of red poppy. Okay, so this generally comes up in our consciousness, and we see it as a symbol during the times when we are in a chaos or coming out of a chaotic situation. So even if you see the presence of red poppy on earth, they were like born from the battlefield. I mean, this is one of those trivia. If you read about red poppy, then in World War I, when all the bullets were, being fired, it shaked up the ground, and the red poppy seeds, which have the capacity to secure themselves for years and years and stay underground, they came out with the shaking of the ground and all of those bullet shells, and the lime rich soil caused the blooming and growth of poppy flower. So it was called flowers that were born out of battlefield. Then also, poppy has long lasting seeds. Like, for years and years, these seeds can preserve themselves under the earth. And whenever there is any activity that shakes the ground, and whenever they are exposed to the sunlight, then they grow and they bloom into the poppy flower as we see. Also, in ancient mythology, Poppy was related to Morpheus, who was god of sleep and dreams, because the extract of this plant can put you in deep slumber and that kind of relaxed state of sleep. So these are some trivias which were very interesting, because I dived into these trivias later after getting the downloaded messages, because I was being called to look at these trivia messages, and there is a lot of correlation on this 3D information with what is coming for red poppy in archetypal, shamanic, symbolic way. Okay, so red poppy is symbolic of your wildest and weirdest aspect. It is the hidden side of you. It is that ancient wisdom. It is the feminine side of you who has a very animal instinct version and aspect, who wants to run free and wild. So, red poppy is that aspect of you which nudges you to, you know, um, leave a box of identity back behind so that you are free. So imagine this: if you are, born in a small village or a small city, or anything that is small for you, for your expression, okay, where everybody is trying to label you with an identity, or there is a projection happening on you, that they want to label you in a box and try to define you, but you are not feeling comfortable in that box, that the aspect of you that is causing you struggles, that you don't feel comfortable, you want to travel, you want to get out of this place, you want to run away as far away as you can, is your wildest, weirdest feminine side, who wants to run wild and free, because that is your animal instinct, that is your tigress side. I've taken out the red tiger's eye today for this reading. I felt drawn to it. Red poppy is also symbolic of this ancient fire within you, that is literally birthed out of battlefields, because this ancient side of you is running wild and free, because she has seen it all. She's following you, she's the hidden aspect of you, because imagine this: we are civilized human that we speak about right now, but where do we come from? We come from this single cell which contains the wildness of nature, right? And that is our core, our essence. That has the key and that has the wisdom that our brain cannot comprehend when it works all alone. Our masculine side cannot think about those things if it is working on its own. So, this is the duality present within us, the masculine and the feminine. And the ancient feminine that comes from the seeing a lot of spiritual warfares. You know, just imagine this. If you know about this ancient goddess called Durga, she's connected with the color red, and she embodies this energy of red poppy. So this message is coming forward for somebody who is seeing red poppy, or spirit guides are trying to communicate with you that your red poppy is about to bloom. So you need to sleep, you need to rest, you need to develop that scenario where this aspect of you can rise, because only when this aspect rises you will get the 50% of the personality that you're missing. And in totality, this masculine and feminine side of you together will make your authentic voice, which will be free and not only disciplined. So you have to be disciplined but also free. So that is the kind of message that is coming forward for somebody. I'm actually getting very tongue tied because there's so much happening inside me right now. I literally had to write down multiple times about this message, and there were so many things coming out here. So let's dive into it. Okay. So, the first thing about Poppy was coming out is that the wild aspect of you that always pushes you to transform, to change, to travel, to move. There's a lot of movement, moving forward involved here. But it doesn't have to be only physical movement. It is physical movement when the red poppy is already bloomed. It's out there, it's like available, it's out there in the consciousness, it's not hidden in the shadows. But when it is hidden in the shadows, the main thing is to first bring it out in light, bring it out into the consciousness. Seeing it, becoming aware of its existence, aware of your wild, weird side. The animal instinct. As you If you see a lion, when we think about animal instinct, wildest, we as a society, we are, we think about these words in negative connotation, and that's what needs to break for us, because there has to be no shame involved. The whole idea is that the red poppy seeds were hidden deep into the earth, were hidden deep into our subconscious, because we had shame towards that aspect of ourselves, because we shunned, we judged that side of ourselves, and that is why our life does not have a compass anymore. We don't know which direction to go towards. So this is that aspect of ourselves that allows us to achieve our purpose, what we have come for, because there is a unique signature. It's the unique push and pull towards things, and we really truly need that. So if by chance somebody is gives you an option or an opportunity, the way you react to it and the authenticity with which you react need to have that poppy side within you opened. That means your instinct, your wild side, which might take it or which may not take it. It's the unapologetic and fearless aspect of you, which knows what is best for your expression. Okay, so if an opportunity that comes in front of you gives you false premise of like everything that is like that sounds amazing, but can take away your soul, can take away your freedom, that is something that your feminine will not accept. Your wild side will not accept. Because the biggest thing about this animal instinct within you is that it doesn't want to be caged. The soul doesn't want to be caged. And that is what is coming. This aspect of you is rising because this message is coming forward for somebody who literally did not know what's their true personality, true authenticity, because that the creation of this integration between this masculine and feminine has not happened yet, because your poppy has to bloom first. It was gone into shadows for a lot of reasons. The storyline that was coming in my mind was that the wild aspect of yours brought in some troubles in your life. And the troubles were brought in your life because your inner masculine failed to keep with the choices in the life that they were making. They were unable to build and design a life where the red poppy, the feminine, was protected to live her reality, protected to run wild free. And because of this, there were certain things that happened to somebody, and they judged their wild side themselves so much that their feminine aspect literally went and hid in the shadows. She was not welcome, she was traumatized, and she hid there. And then you are running only on your masculine side without any energy, without any passion, without any desire, without any joy, without any that wild fierceness on of running wild and of what you truly want at an animalistic level at your core. So it feels like somebody who has lost all of the fun from their life. They are really trying to make life work for them. They're working really hard, and they're continuously, what do you call it? They're continuously trying to make sense of life, and they feel like they're grieving because they feel like they're not fun anymore. They feel like they're not fun, but actually an important side of them has to bloom yet. It is blooming, but you need to put yourself in this sleep mode. Go to your dreams, because in your dream this poppy will bloom, and that will be a sign for you that you're vibing onto the resonance which will call in your true 3D world. So your red poppy, your divine feminine, your masculine together forms your vibration, your authenticity, and that resonance is needed to invite the right things in your life. Also, a lot of symbolism of plan A, plan B came that I felt like I will make another video on it. But if I'll keep it short, it's that your inner masculine has only one plan A. The plan A is to take care of the feminine, inner feminine. So the inner masculine has to design a life out, because masculine is all about outward decisions and how we show up in society, right? So all the decisions of the masculine is to design a life where the feminine can run wild and free, where she is not captured, she is respected, her wisdom is respected. So that is what is coming with red poppy. That is it. It is that aspect of your is going to bloom. All the information that you're waiting for in your life about when you are trying to understand who you are, this is that missing information. You don't have not accepted the wild side of yours till now. The thing that you used to label as shadow, as bad, as you have to accept it, and that is being represented by red poppy, because it comes out. That wild aspect is the aspect of you that comes out from biggest level of warfares and battlefields. So, all the learnings that you have learned, all the wars that you have won, that has given you this power of the red poppy to run wild free, to be fearless, to have the courage, so that nobody can capture you, and you actually march at the beat of your own drum. So, your choices, the masculine aspect of you, your choices on how to show up into this world, show up to the society, should be based on what will make your feminine feel free, respected, and not captured. And that is an important information in somebody's journey, somebody's purpose, because they were getting confused till now on the decisions that they need to make, the career they have to choose, what to do in their either career or life. But this information is enough that is coming, because if you are going to make a decision, for example, you have two options, you're going to make a decision. Now all the confusion will go away, because you will only have one option in your mind's eye, and that option will be the one where your true authenticity is arising and not dulled down. That means the option where your divine feminine is respected, can be free, and she is not shut down. So, for example, if you were designing a business of yours, okay, and in that business, you were earlier thinking that, oh, I need to attract as many people as I want. I need to provide this service also, that service also. I need to do this, this, this. But if this structure is capturing you, and your divine feminine is not able to have fun and run wild and free, this thing will not work out for you, because your true authenticity will only shine, and you will have the energy to do the things, because you have to see that poppy seeds are long lasting. Why are they long lasting? Because it is that potential energy. Okay, it is that hidden potential energy, that hidden wisdom that cannot be defined in words. It is, it flows in feelings. So you have to be silent for a moment, you have to be still for a moment, you have to rest for a moment to tap into that energy and to actually follow your feeling. And that is what red poppy signifies. That the battlefield, the battle is over, and now from that chaos, the ground is shaken and poppy are rising. And you need to run wild and free. The battle is over, okay? You are safe. You are safe to make the choices where you are free. And that is the responsibility of the masculine, of the inner masculine. So, this plan A and plan B connotation that was coming to me was that if your masculine side, the outward side, how you show up to the world, there is only one plan A for that. It's not the dreams that you think, oh, I have a dream that I have to be famous, or I have to do this, I have to do that. Those you don't need to be attached with. Those are not plan A or plan B. Your plan A is to give that platform, to give that life to your inner feminine, so that your weird side is running wild and free. And when that thing is respected in that way, it respects the masculine back, and together they form that authentic inner child who is your true voice. And that does all the work in just fun and games, because that is what it is. The masculine doesn't feel any loss of energy when he's working for the feminine. And the feminine is anyways powerhouse of energy and intuition and all the information. It's just, she's just like, she doesn't think, she doesn't need to think. She just she just responds and creates and invites, you know. So whatever your true intuition calls for, the psychic, the witch, The witch, red poppy, is the witch within you that you need to surrender to, because she has those hidden wisdom that you need to rise up to that vibration, to rise up to that resonance, which will call in your purpose, call in your community, all of those things. Okay, so let's take out some cards. Um, so many information, so much of information was coming forward to me in this unraveling this sign and symbol of red poppy. I hope I have done some justice, because I anyways was feeling like the I don't know. Words are feeling short. It's difficult for me to express something in words right now, because it's all an inner understanding that I'm feeling, and it's hard for me to express them in words. Um, you know, you might be feeling a lot of chaotic energies right now. It just looks like this chaotic energy is to shake up your ground. So there might be certain things happening in your life that are like ungrounding you a little bit. So you might be feeling very unstable energies right now. Like a moment you are grounded, and another moment you are ungrounded. Some moments you have a lot of energy, and then suddenly you have less energy. So that kind of seesaw of emotions are coming forward right now, because your grounds have to be shaken up for this red poppy to rise from the darkness, come into the awareness, and your divine feminine is rising right now whenever you're seeing this message. And this feminine of yours that is rising is represented by the sign of red poppy. Whenever you see this sign, red poppy, you either need to rest, sleep, or just. Oh my god, look at this. Mm, what a beautiful symbolism of feminine. Kriya. Okay, Kriya. Look at this beautiful card. And Bhuvneshwari. You know, these are giving me extreme beautiful energies of divine feminine, that's for sure. But there are certain hidden messages coming forward, because Bhuvneshwari is the goddess of earth. So there is this concept called Das Mahavidya. 10 um, Maha means grand, great, uh, cosmic. Vidya means knowledge, wisdom. Okay, so there are these 10 frequencies, 10 goddesses of ancient and universal wisdom. Okay, that almost talks about the cycle of creation, and it starts from Kali, who is the void, the dissolution, and from that nothingness, the second goddess is born, which is called Tara. Tara in English means star, and Tara is just a ball of wisdom, very like potential energy and static. When she moves ahead, like the radiance from that star starts traveling. Like when we see from Earth, the stars that we see, they twinkle. That twinkling, it's the different speed of light that is coming from the stars that makes us think that it is twinkling. That projection of the twinkling, that rays that are traveling for millions and millions of years, is considered this knowledge that is coming from stars. Okay, is called Sri Lalita Tripur Sundari. Okay, and she is considered that when she falls on the Maya, the projection, the projector, then she creates this reality that we live in, the earth. Okay, so she comes and falls on this screen where it creates the reality, and that screen from where the reality of earth is created, that energy, that frequency is called Bhuvaneshwari, the earth. And then further, the other goddesses are Bhairavi, that is in our third eye, and then it comes down to Chinnamasta, who's in our throat, and then Dhumavati in our heart, Bagulamukhi in our gut, and then Matangi in our sacral, and then bottom at the ground at the root chakra is Ashtakamalatmika or Lakshmi. So I need to make a video on the 10 Mahavidyas. I will do that. But just because Bhuvaneshwari came here, so I understood about that this is about somebody's earthly reality. Okay, so the stars and the wisdom and the ancient wisdom coming from stars is now changing its frequency. So, whatever will show up in your world, whatever will show up in your 3D world will be different. And that is what is coming with the Bhuvaneshwari, that your earthly existence will change because the energies that are coming from the ancient stars are going to awaken your feminine. Look at the moon symbolism, okay? There's some awakening of your feminine happening, okay? The pearl wisdom, there's awakening of your feminine, which is the rise in your red poppy and consciousness. And all the energies are there, the energies of earth, the energies of water, the energies of fire from the stars coming down into the belly, so that this ancient wisdom or of divine feminine can rise within you. Wow. This is coming forward as red poppy being that this rising of your consciousness, rising of your fierce wild side is was the missing piece in your heart healing. Okay, it is the gem that you were waiting for because your life was not fun anymore. You had to make it fun, and that is a fun aspect of you that allows you to fly. Somebody was not flying, they were living their life, they were doing whatever they had to do, they were trying to use their brain to strategize the decisions that they have to make. But the major aspect that has the ability to unravel their destiny is their wild side, and that is going to rise from their sleep in their dreams, because the more you are in your dreams, the more you rest during this chaotic time when your earth and ground is shaking, the more energy you store to make this poppy rise and bloom. You need to restore energy to do that. Because while this ground is shaken, if you if you don't sleep, and if you're awake, and if you keep doing and going forward in your day as you please, you might lose a lot of energy. And if you lose a lot of energy, your poppy will fail to rise, fail to bloom. And right now is the time when your feminine has to bloom. Your feminine has to come out. The feminine contains the wisdom of ever changing, ever transforming, always, because this message is coming forward for somebody that in your life, the path that you're choosing, the dreams that you're having, the direction that you're going will be ever evolving and ever changing. And somebody was so against having a plan B that they were always trying to control a narrative, and they were always trying to do this one thing. They're obsessed with this one idea, and they kept like, I only have a plan A. But now, with the rising of inner feminine and the knowledge that the masculine understands how important feminine is for him, Then the masculine changes his plan A and makes his feminine the plan A. That this is most important. There is nothing, no achievement in the 3D world that is more important than the feminine. Because if she's not there, there is no uh, happiness. There is no contentment. There is no feelings of content. You are not feeling happy and you are experiencing lack because she's the abundance. So now the masculine has sacrificed all the dreams that they earlier had, and that sacrifice, because they have sacrificed it for the feminine to rise, is helping the feminine to receive the respect and the sacrificial energy, which is bringing her to come out from hidden depths and shadows. Literally, with the water and ocean present here, it feels like something is coming out from the deep depths of consciousness. Something was hidden deeply in the subconscious, okay? And she's coming out. The wild side is coming out. The fearless version of you is coming out. I don't know whether you can hear the dogs in my colony are barking a lot, and I am getting it a feeling like somebody's divine feminine is maybe connected with the energies of Hecate, is what I'm getting right now. Um, Crossroads. Oh, yeah, that's why this plan A and plan B, because I'm not able to actually finish my message. I don't even know how much this reading will make sense, to be honest, because so much is happening that I have this whole understanding as a ball of wisdom in my mind, but as I'm converting it into words, it just feels like it's losing its whole, the wisdom is losing it, because it's possible to absorb it as a feeling, and as I'm trying to put it words, it's like it's very difficult. So when the plan A, plan B, when your plan A becomes your feminine, always taking care of her, making decisions in your life so that she can express, so then she can fly. She starts working for you. It's like what all the masculine needs in life. She brings in the abundance. She calls in the opportunity that masculine has to respond towards. So what it's saying with the Hecate coming forward, the goddess of the crossroads, somebody's divine feminine is like that. She's the master of crossroads. She's the master of keys that open doors. She's a road opener. Somebody doesn't know what's their truest dream, because whatever fake dream they had earlier, they had to give it up because that dream did not include the feminine. So they had to give it up. And as they gave it up, she's now rising. She will give the wisdom to which road to open when. She is the goddess of the crossroads. She will have the keys of all plan Bs. And somebody's purpose is to go from one plan B to other plan B to other plan B. And what I mean by plan B that is coming forward is that, for example, somebody might be thinking from their brain and they'll be like, okay, I have to be a content creator. I have to create content in Instagram. But then this is what their mind thinks. But their inner feminine will guide them and they will be like, yeah, but what if this doesn't work? Let me have another thing. Your inner feminine will not allow you to get attached to an external dream because of something unique that is there in the destiny, and you will only be able to achieve that destiny and to walk that path. You have to surrender to your feminine, and you will be running and choosing various different plan B's to get to your destiny, is what is coming to me. So there's a very important thing here. Your attachment, your masculine's attachment, the attachment in your mind, in your air element, should only be with your inner feminine, because everything external will change when you'll hold the hand of this inner feminine, the red poppy that is rising. She's wild, she's fierce, she doesn't have small dreams. Her dream is so wild that you cannot even comprehend in the 3D life. when you'll hold her hand, you will just be like, you'll be taken on a ride to reach where you have to reach. So, yeah, your commitment has to be towards your inner feminine, and she will bring in the abundance, the recognition, everything that the masculine desires, and everything that the masculine needs to feel safe, and everything that the masculine needs to build this platform for the feminine to dance. Oh, see the dance, the receiving of the gem. Wow, beautiful energies, beautiful. Wow. I actually do not have an oracle deck that has that poppy as a sign, because if I had, I would have really unraveled it. But, anyways, like the download was showing me a lot of information already. I was feeling like there's something. Am I missing something here? Okay, this one thing is coming out, that this red poppy is somebody's spiritual abundance. Like, somebody is going to get gifts and skills and abundance and literal spiritual money um, that was taken away from them. That is their abundance. This feminine that is rising again is somebody's abundance that is rising again. It's hard for me to explain, because the feeling that I'm getting is that somebody's spiritual money, literally the money that was taken away from you, the royalty, the royalness, the authority, the divine, um, divine authority. Somebody's, okay, I'm getting this feeling that somebody is very highly positioned, and they are traveling. They are belong to a very, very royal lineage, somebody at a very higher position of wisdom, something that is very important, and they are coming from that timeline, and they are coming from that history, that they have the access to this feminine wisdom, this level of wisdom, the oracle, the psychic, the magic worker, the manifester, who's just a walking abundance in herself. She invites all opportunities, all wealth towards her. Everything just works out for her. That is the level of wisdom she has. That is being awakened in someone who was living in lack for a very, very long time. Maybe this whole birth. This whole birth, I mean, I don't know how old you guys are, but it looks like even if you are like 30s, 40s, 50s, it's only now that you're going to experience this level of abundance, and then you will understand what I'm talking about, because somebody has been living in a lack, like a lot of lack, and this suddenly shifting for them because they have done all the sacrificial work, where what all things they were thinking from their mind as a strategist, as this illusion filled human being who was only thinking from their lack mindset, from their only masculine side, which is like greed driven, which is like thinking of quick fixes, or thinking from fear. What they want to do is trying to label themselves and put themselves inside a box, because that is easier for other people to understand. Somebody has, because of whatever, because this was your destiny, so you were not able to do it. You tried to do it, you really tried to fit in, but you were not able to do it, and you were not able to succeed, and you have faced one loss after the other, and this lack energy has literally brought you down so badly. Even if you tried to succeed in something, you were feeling so unfulfilled that you left it. You were like, I can't do this anymore. You sacrificed everything because you felt like, I'm not feeling whole. I'm not respecting my inner feminine, my freedom, my fun. And that aspect of you has surrendered everything for this feminine to rise. So he is praying to this feminine because she is the answer of everything, and he's in love with her. He's calling her. And then this together, we bring in the manifestation of the 3D world. This energy that is rising from your deep subconscious will reflect into your 3D reality, will mirror into your 3D reality. Look at the card at the bottom of the deck. The duality. Right now, somebody's inner world is in duality. And there's so much coming in this message. I have to make different videos for it. I can't make a 2-3 hour long video. But can you see the feet of these two birds? They look like 33 written, 33 written, and I will not kid you. This is what is coming in my, when I was unraveling the messages around red poppy, plan B, space. This is what I was seeing. 33, 33, change into butterfly, bird's feet, 33. The same 3-3 becomes a butterfly, the same 3-3 becomes the heart, the higher heart, the inner heart, lower heart. I will talk about it later, but yeah, dude, the masculine, the prince coming on the horse, is not an external person. A horse is an animal related with the energies of sun. That means masculine energy, energy of discipline, energy of showing up every day, like literally a boring everyday routine. But the prince comes and follows this discipline, this everyday routine, this discipline of like without validation, without any need of external confirmation or external applause of how amazing they are doing. They are doing everything to free the feminine. The prince on the horse is coming to free the feminine. Because only when they are together, both of them experience abundance. Okay. The feminine is abundance herself. She wants stability that the masculine gives him, and the masculine wants freedom and abundance that the feminine gives him. So it's like a non-dual experience or situation. So somebody's inner duality world has to integrate into a non-dual beautiful family, which creates and births the inner child, the authentic version of you in totality, in wholesome, in both aspects of you, the light and the shadow, the masculine and feminine, the sun and the moon. When that aspect integrates together, then it develops that inner child, which is having these inner parent inside you, which is creating that space for the inner child to express. So the masculine is creating a safe space, a safe routine, so that the feminine runs wild and free, and the feminine is allowing the child, taking care of the child, so that he is feeling safe to come out and express. So right now it's a step before birthing of inner child, to be honest. Right now the masculine is focused on the feminine, because right now it's the time to free the feminine. So feminine is rising because the duality card came out. They have to integrate, and when they integrate, then comes the time for inner child, because the two masculine feminine with integration becomes the parents. They become the parent to the inner child. Have I missed something? This is so funny. Oh God. This is the card that was just behind the duality card that I was looking at. Burden, 10. This card came in reverse, and I feel like with this 10 number coming forward, it feels like somebody has finished that cycle, and somebody is being nudged to release this burden of their older dreams that they were carrying. Okay, so there are a lot of false information that somebody is carrying in their system, and they are being nudged to release that burden and go to sleep and rest, because they will not be able to find answers to, like, they're trying to find logical answers to what to do, how to let this burden go, how to be more relaxed, what is the solution, how will I find solution to the problems that I'm facing in life. But spirit guides are saying you cannot find it from your brain, you cannot control it, you have to let it happen. It is unraveling. So they are saying, don't try to figure it out in your brain, let it go, drop into your heart, go to sleep. Because not everything can be done from the angle of hard work and control. See, sexual energy, the horse came out. That is what I was talking about. Not everything will be happening from your brain. Certain things have to happen from your desire space, what you're truly desiring, where you're going. Because that is the speed and the movement that somebody needs. Okay? That is the speed and the movement that somebody needs. And this will happen. The prince will come in the horse and will rescue the feminine and will choose the feminine. And that is the integration that your inner system is waiting for. But in order to do this, you need to go to, like, you just need to let down your thinking mind. And in this chaotic situation, you can only let down your thinking mind when you go to sleep. You shut it off. If in reality, when you're awake, you're not able to do it, then you go to sleep. If you don't want to go to sleep, then in the daytime you do things which put your mind at ease. So maybe do certain activities with your hand, maybe indulge in some arts and crafts and something that stops your brain, because that will rise your feminine inside you, the red poppy that is coming forward. Because this is your most important plan A. Everything that you're doing in your life are the plan B's. Okay? Yeah. Look at this color scheme that is coming forward in front of me right now. It's all pinks and purples. Okay? Very heart healing and upper chakra kind of cards. Very dream driven kind of cards. Emotions. Emotions. So, this grieving process that somebody is going through, because this looks like this rising of the feminine is coming from a huge grieving space. Because this grieving space is allowing you to let down your burdens. Without grieving, if you don't grieve, then you're holding on to things, you're not letting them go. But somebody has just left the burden, so they have dropped themselves into the grieving process. Because I have a feeling that somebody's masculine side has realized how sad they are without the feminine, how non unfun is, how boring they are, how monotonous their life is. They want the wildness, they want their inner freedom to come back. And somebody has realized that. And they're grieving that version of themselves. They're remembering a very, very old time. Okay, I'm getting, this is not like grieving something in your past that you have evolved from. Okay, this is coming your truest version, like somebody's remembering who they truly are. And this might not be in this lifetime, they might be remembering something from some other lifetime, but they are remembering how awesome their life was when the feminine was there. So somebody is remembering how important that wild aspect of them was, that carefree aspect of them was. Somebody is remembering she has all the power, she is the door opener, she is the removal of lack energy, she is the bringer of abundance. and somebody has just recognized it. So somebody's grieving because they are very sad to live all of these years without this aspect. And somebody's grieving the separation period that they had to live to come to the space again. Okay, I feel like all the messages are out there. I feel I need to take out one tarot, maybe. Let's see. No, I don't think so. I need to take out tarot. I was just getting drawn to this is what it is there, bottom of the deck. Somebody's moving towards their literally 3D abundance, like literally their garden. The poppy is rising in their garden. The poppy is going to bloom in their garden. This is directly related to somebody's finances for sure, but I don't even want to mention it because with the energy that somebody is going to get back, they will not even feel anything when they'll get their finances back, because that will be like a secondary byproduct. Because the main thing will be retrieving this energy. This will be so fulfilling that everything else will just be reflection of the beauty that you're feeling inside. That is how it is coming. That is how it is coming to me. Like you will feel such beautiful energies within you. You will feel so free. You will feel wild, and all these emotions that you judged yourself from feeling, is going to come back online. And the moment it comes back online, it's like the red poppy is blooming in your garden, and you'll receive all the abundance and all the pentacles and everything, because the lack that you were feeling was the lack that you were feeling was the absence of feminine, the feminine hiding because she was not respected for what she brings in your life. Okay, guys, the message is out there now. Thank you so much for listening to this very long and I don't even know, maybe a weird video, because I don't know how much sense I have made in my words, because my feelings were pulling me in some direction. I was saying something, my mind was somewhere else. I was all over the place. So, hope you found something um, helpful in this message, because my intention was that. I was very excited to receive this download, and I'm literally telling you, I have literally kept this video as short as possible because there's still so much unraveling in my brain. It's hard for me to keep it tight, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Do like, share, and subscribe, and also do comment. I love to receive those and see your comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I'll see you next time. Bye.